Beloved, in reading this remarkable book published this year by Nancy J. Kramer, which I cited earlier, it is called Retreat to Victory 1915. And she quotes several international nurses that were with the Serbian troops during World War I. Most of them found a unique characteristic among the Serbs, that the Serbian soldiers loved to sing and to dance. They would sing before they would go into battle. They would sing when they were wounded. They would lie on their beds when they could no longer talk, and every nurse knew the moment that they felt better, they would start to sing once again. The moment they could rise from their pallet, they would begin to dance. There is an incredible, touching video, perhaps you have seen it, Tamo de Cveta Limun Žut. And it is an historical documentary which shows the Serbian soldiers following a year's reprieve on the island of Corfu. It is Pascha, Easter. The Greeks, our hosts, who fed us, who cared for us for 1 year, were roasting lambs on a spit. Music was playing, and the Serbian soldiers knew that it was soon going to be time to go home and break through the Salonika front, and they got up to dance a kolo. That kolo began on Corfu in that year of 1916 and continues and has not ended to this day. Close your eyes, the eyes of your body, and let the eye of your heart open up. Do you not see this aisleway, these seats? This room is filled tonight with the women from ourselves, little children in their tattered clothing, wounded soldiers. This room is filled with nurses from Scotland, from America, from Australia, from New Zealand. This room is filled with our allies, the French and the English, that Francuska Lađa, which finally took us to our safety. This room is filled, it's not empty. They have been with us and will remain with us the whole time. As we walk through the streets of Washington from one event to another, there is an army which is following us in their tattered opanke, tied together with rope so that they could continue to walk on the streets of Washington. Let your eyes dictate that, and that is the eyes of your heart, the only eyes which can tell you what is really going on about you. They sang many beautiful songs this evening which herald from World War I, as I mentioned, Krejčica, Lađa, Francuska, a very touching episode which talks about how the Allies who were to have met our army after the trek over the Albanian mountains, and indeed rightfully called Prokletia, the cursed mountains, because they are so bitter cold and the wind is harrowing. And then one ship passed them by and would not stop. They were devastated. Food did not come. And finally, reprieve. A French ship came, and look, to this day we sing about that ship which took them to safety. We also heard another very touching song, Tamo Daleko. Tamo Daleko, the song of yearning of a heart, of those soldiers on Corfu waiting to regain their strength and to go back. And there's even one touching verse which says, do not fall in love with the women that you see here, because your wives and the women are waiting for you at home. It talks about returning to Serbia, and return they did. You heard about that magnificent formation which was mentioned, and how the Serbians led the charge. What a glorious piece of Serbian history, and truly all explained by the first song which they sang, Hajd Junaci, and the culmination of that is Ovo je Srbija. But there is one other song which comes from this epoch, which comes to mind. What was it like to be in Belgrade, having been overtaken for a number of years, the king, the Prince Regent, the government, the soldiers, and many other civilians in exile, and you are by yourself occupied by the enemy. And all of a sudden, what happens? The doors, the gates of Belgrade open, there appears a white charger. Ide pera, jashe konja bela, and everybody in Belgrade sang out, Marshirala, Marshirala, kraľa, Petra, garda. And that glorious song is still sung to this very day. This is the characteristic of who and what a Serb is. There is even that deeply touching song, Uranama, grom pušaka, leži ranjenik, na usnama mu pesma. A wounded soldier lays amidst a pile of guns, and on his lips, his dying lips, there is a song. I know that you have not rehearsed it, and I know that I'm putting you on the spot. But perhaps not you, because as you know, in the days of old, our people did not merely listen to music, did not merely listen to song, but everybody sang. Would it be too difficult for me to impose upon you with your magnificent voices to join us all in singing Marshirala, makar jednu strofu da otpevamo svi. Svi zajedno, ustanite, molimo vas. Marshirala, Marshirala.